Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be unboxing some puzzles I bought from the TikTok shop because I wanted to do some wooden puzzles that have interesting cuts, and there are lots of options on there. It was really quick and handy for me to do, so I just went for it. There are 3 puzzles in here, each one cost me about £4, but let's open it up and I'll show you the designs I got. So I'm just going to pull them out one by one, and the first one I've got is this one. Ooh, this is the Tree of Life one, and I just really love the pattern on that. Like, look how intricate it is. Really cool. Yeah, big fan of this. Big fan of that. You've got all the different shapes. The box isn't too big, thankfully. It's, what do you reckon, A5 size? I don't know why I'm asking you, you're not here. But yeah, I think it's about A5 size. It's shrink wrapped, and I'm assuming the others will be as well, so let's check. Ah, excellent. This is the butterfly one. Now this one I got in the size small, so this one was size medium, and the other one I got as well is size medium. This one I got a size small because I plan to speed run it. I plan to just keep on doing it until I can get it really quick. But yeah, I really love the colours on these wooden puzzles. So the designs are already cute and the colours make it extra special. And the final one I got is this phoenix. Very cool. You can see that just there. So yeah, in total we have the phoenix, the tree of life, and the butterfly. So let's get these opened up and see what they're like inside with the pieces. There we go. I've taken them out of their shrink wrap. We've got this one. The box is fine and lovely. Unfortunately, the box is a little bit damaged for this one. There's just a couple of crease lines. Apparently, they're not showing up on camera. Oh, you can kind of see one there. They're not really showing, but I promise they are there. And you've also got the butterfly one. Now, this one has like a different texture to the others. The others are just like one solid finish all the way across. This one's got like kind of, I guess, kind of a matte feel to it on the butterfly itself. One thing I've noticed, the butterfly just shows the design, whereas for the Tree of Life and the Phoenix, you can see the outlines of the puzzle pieces. It's not totally clear on camera, but you can see them. So I'm not sure I like that, because I think it makes it a bit too easy, but maybe it'll be helpful. We'll have to see. These are the medium A4 size ones, and this is the A5, so maybe it'll be easier. But let's have a look at the pieces. I'm going to open the box. There we go. So inside the box, the pieces are in an organza bag, and they look very lovely. Now this is going to seem weird, but the last wooden puzzle I had smelled very much like fire, so I'm going to give it a sniff. Yeah, it smells like burning, I think because they're like laser cut. So you can see all the pieces in there. Lots of kind of like spirally shapes I'm seeing in there. I'm going to open it up and have a little feel of the pieces. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they feel quite nice. They, yeah. I was expecting kind of lower quality, I guess, because I bought it from TikTok shop. But actually the pieces have like a decent thickness to them. The printing seems pretty decent. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm looking forward to putting it together. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to build them all separately, and then I'll show you once they're completed. But what I have noticed is that they come with a little print of the puzzle inside as well as on the box. So I can have that next to me for reference, which will be very useful. But yeah, I'm going to build them one by one, and then at the end I'll give you my honest thoughts on them. See you in a bit. So this is the image again, and this is the finished article. I was quite surprised actually. It took me just under 1 hour 20 minutes, which is a lot longer than I was expecting it to take me. However, the pieces were very fiddly. Some of them are like really small. Like some of them are like, I love these ones that are kind of like animals. They're really fun. But others are quite tiny, and a lot of them have those like little spiral connections you can see there, which created a lot of false fits because most of the pieces will interlock with most of the other pieces. So again, some other ones you can see, you've got that owl there, you've got that gorilla there. So I really did like the animal-shaped pieces. I did not like the really stupidly tiny pieces. Seeing if I can find any to show you. I think maybe one up here. I don't know. I assure you there's lots of like ones that are basically the size of my little finger tiny. The connections were quite loose, and you can sort of see like when I'm sort of shuffling it, the connections are loose, which made it very hard building it because trying to resize it to fit the pieces in was a nightmare, and the wood kept on catching. So a very fiddly puzzle to make, but ultimately a pretty fun one, and I really like the final image. Don't know if I'll do it again, simply because it was quite difficult, but yeah, very beautiful, really liked it. Let's see what the others are like. I can't lie, this one is proving to be very tricky. I'm about 55 minutes in, and this is all I've managed. I've got all the pieces laid out. I've managed to find like some connections, especially with the animal pieces. You can sort of kind of tell what's going on, what they connect to, but for the most part it's really tricky. All the pieces are such similar colours and the shapes are so like weird and unique that it's really hard to spot which piece you kind of need, and even for the ones you can, like I can see clearly what piece needs to go in that little slot there, but trying to find it amongst all of this is a nightmare because so many of them have this like little swirly pattern with the connections. And yeah, this is a lot tougher than the Tree of Life just because the colours are so similar, but I'll keep at it and we'll see how I do. So I finally finished this Phoenix puzzle. It took me 2 hours and 2 minutes, which is kind of crazy given the size, because like that's it compared to my hand, so it's not that big at all. I did cheat a little bit, depending on definition of cheating. So if you look at the poster, it has the outlines of the shapes, and when I got stuck, I did check on there because, well, what happened was I was so confused because I had my edge done and I just had 2 bits that weren't connected, so I wasn't sure if I had missing pieces, if I was somehow not seeing the edge piece. And what I realised was that the opposite sides of the puzzle looked pretty much identical, and the fit was exactly the same. So I had the part from this side attached to that side, and the part from this side attached to that side, and I didn't notice until I was trying to connect this middle part to the edge, and it wasn't going. And I took a look at the poster, and you can sort of see just here there's like this bird shaped piece, and I had that on the other side, which is how I finally managed to tell that it was wrong. So that helped a lot when I finally got that sorted out. But the biggest problem with this is that I've pushed it all nice and closely together for the image, but you can see there's actually huge gaps in between the pieces. So the fits are not tight at all. There's so many loose fitting parts, like look at that. There's so many loose fitting parts like that a lot of the pieces just didn't stay in, and some of the pieces don't fit perfectly. Like you can see with the elephant, there's that big gap in between, sort of like where this piece meets that one. Like that's not like, you know, a design or anything, that's like a hole. So that was the biggest issue with this. Also, there were like a few printing quality issues. So you can see here the paint's chipped or something. Like this wasn't me, again, this was how it came out of the packet. So yeah, that was my experience with this one. It's a pretty design, but I'm kind of happy that it's over because it was exhausting. There we go. So I only got the small one for this one, although interestingly it ended up being not that much smaller than the others. Like it is bigger than my hand still, so it's not quite as small as I was expecting, because it said A5 size. So I suppose it kind of is, but I guess because it's sideways, it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, it's very different pieces, this one. So you can sort of see there's kind of like little weird squiggly shapes, and there's a few sort of like whimsical shapes like these. We've got butterfly here, butterfly there. Where's the owl? I know there's an owl somewhere. There's a butterfly there, there's another butterfly. There's the owl. So you've got the owl, and then you've also got this little bird here. I really like the colours. Now at first I was really bothered by the shapes because I was trying to find all these sort of like outside edge pieces and put together the edge, and I tried that for a little while and then I just gave up because it wasn't happening, and I found this one was so much easier to just build section by section. So I did this top section around this little butterfly here, and then when I was building the lower section is when I learned that the puzzle piece pattern on the picture does not match this. Like I was trying to avoid it anyway, but there was one part I was getting a little bit stuck on, so I went to look at the picture, and you can see in this one there's like a butterfly there rather than the birds that we have in our one. And I realised that apart from a couple of pieces around this butterfly here at the top, basically everything is a completely different shape to what it is on the picture. So at that point I wish I'd just given us a picture rather than put in the puzzle lines. But overall, it is a nice one. This piece here is kind of was a bit out of shape because you can like just pull it out, but this is where it goes. So that was like a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Other than that, I do like it. I think it was quite a cute one, and I managed to do it in 30 minutes and 28 seconds. So considerably quicker than the other two. And yeah, cute little puzzle. Liked the shapes once I got used to them. Took a while to get used to, but I think I do prefer them to those weird sort of spiral shapes from the other ones. You can tell that this one is sort of cut from a very different machine, probably a different company that this one comes from. But yeah. One other thing with this one is that because the connections are a bit looser, the puzzle does come out a bit easier. Like the connections aren't too loose when you're putting them in. Like you can see there is a bit of sort of wiggle, but not as much as on like Phoenix puzzle, for example. but then if you go over here, you can pretty much split the puzzle apart. It's like so wobbly, because like some of the pieces, again, like here, it doesn't really connect in the same way that it did in the other one, so a lot of them have like this sort of big wiggle room, even though the actual general joint of the puzzle isn't too bad. So yeah, the much as I do prefer this shape, it was still kind of weird, and I prefer when wooden puzzles kind of have a similar puzzle shape to regular puzzles, just like with sort of like those in and out tabs, just like different shapes rather than completely different connection shapes, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was definitely one thing I noticed with this butterfly puzzle more than the others. Okay, so I am back having built them all. So I did them in the order of the tree, the phoenix, and then the butterfly. So I'll give you my thoughts on each, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on them as a bundle. So with the tree, I did really like it. I thought the colours were very unique, and it was very easy to tell which part of the puzzle each section each piece went into, and the border was very clear as well, so it was pretty easy to pick out the edge pieces at the start, get that in, and then start filling it in. I liked all the different shapes, like animal pieces. We had the dog, the bird. One thing I did actually notice is that between the phoenix and the sacred tree puzzle, they had pretty much exactly the same animal shaped pieces, so I think the company must just use like the same cut. I don't think all of the pieces were the same, because obviously they've got different borders and everything, and the animal pieces were in different places by the looks of it. Yes. Yeah, the animal pieces were in different places, so that's not exactly how it works. But they must have like a special die for the animal pieces that they use between them. I think this one had a couple more, because I don't recall seeing the toucan in this one, but I did this a while ago, so it could be different. So this one, just to recap, took me 1 hour and 20 minutes, whereas this one took me 2 hours and 2 minutes. So this one was considerably harder. So even though they were the same size and a similar piece cut, you can see the colours in this one are a lot more similar. So it was much harder to tell what I was building. And yeah, just overall a lot more tricky on this one, despite being a similar size and a similar cut. I did kind of enjoy both of them, but I definitely much preferred this one. This one kind of got a bit frustrating, I think, because I like to puzzle quite fast, and I don't like sitting around for ages like looking for a piece. But if you puzzle for relaxation, then I'm sure you'll enjoy this one, because it is a pretty design. Yeah, and then finally I did this butterfly puzzle. So this only took me 30 minutes and 28 seconds, and it probably would have taken me a bit quicker had I decided from the start just to do it sections rather than to try and pull out the edge pieces, because with the unique cut of this one, it was actually really difficult finding the edge pieces. Once I got into the swing of it, it came together quite nicely. I really enjoyed building this one, actually. I quite liked the sort of different style of pieces. The spirals on this one, the problem was they fit into like everything, like where a lot of them had like similar connectors, most of the pieces would fit together, and then trying to unfit them if they were the wrong fit, they'd get kind of stuck on each other. Whereas this one, you could tell straight away if pieces went together or not, so that made this one a lot nicer. Overall, I would say you kind of get what you pay for. Like, they're not high quality or anything, but they're fun. You enjoy them, you know. If I'd paid more for them, I'd probably be disappointed. But with the price I paid, I was like, yeah, that's a fair price for what you get. So if you're looking for a fun puzzle, then I would say these. I'm not planning to keep any of them. I was like, I'm trading this one with someone else, and then these ones I'm going to give to family and friends as gifts. But yeah, if you're just looking for a fun little challenge, then I would recommend it. I'm sure you can get it places other than the TikTok shop. Like, this is the kind of thing you find in pretty much any sort of dropshipping website like AliExpress, Wish, Temu, etc, etc. But yeah, if you ever see them and wonder, oh, are those like cheap Chinese products worth it with the puzzles? They kind of are. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give this video a like. Drop a comment down below to say which kind of animal puzzle you would like to build, and please subscribe to the channel for more fun videos in the future. Bye bye.